In this video, we are going to learn three important concepts such as a phenomenon, law, and theory. We are going to look into how this phenomenon, law, and theory, which are related to each other, and how phenomenon, law, and theory, which comes from the um, from the general information. Okay, so first of all, what is phenomenon? Phenomenon is what we can observe from the nature is called a phenomenon, and when what we observe becomes to a phenomenon. So when we observe one pattern, uh, one process repeatedly, that becomes a phenomenon. For example, uh, we may observe plants moving towards the sunlight, few plants moving towards the sunlight. So when we observe this multiple times, not one time, we observe same thing multiple times, so that become a phenomenon. So similarly, when we observe the F1 generation during the hybridization between a tall plant and a dwarf plant, so we always get a tall plant. So this is not from one, this is not observed in particularly at one time. So when we observe it multiple times, that becomes a phenomenon. Even evolution, where we know that uh, when we observe a phenomenon multiple times, when we observe something multiple times, that become a phenomenon. For example, so when this phenomenon is when this phenomenon we get from the multiple observations, so we make a statement, a general statement from this phenomenon, that becomes a law. For example, for the movement of a plant towards sunlight, we call that as a phototropism, is a law. And when we observe the F1 generation with the tall plants, so we call that is a law of dominance. And in evolution, when we find only a variety of organisms are survived in a population, so we call that is a natural selection. So these are all laws. Okay. Then the theory comes. What the theory explains about this law? So theory explains how that particular pattern is possible in that organism. So why that particular pattern is present in that particular observation is explained by the theory. So theory majorly focus tries to explain why that observation is coming multiple times again and again, what is the reason behind it. And so that explains the reasons for the this one. For example, when you take the phototropism, this is a law. So from this, so the theory of the phototropism has come, so that explains the involvement of the plant hormones, and also involvement of the cell growth and all that things. So when it comes to the law of dominance, there the chromosomal theory explains the alleles are present for every character. So these alleles, they regulate the traits. So that is explained by theory of chromosomal inheritance. So the next one is the evolution. So that is explained by a natural selection theory, which explains that genes are responsible for creating the variations, and organisms which have useful variations, they gets adapted to environment, new environment, or to the existing conditions. Okay, then those organisms, they reproduce again and again, and their population becomes more. So organisms which have such variations, so their number becomes more. So that is how they survive and become a even a new species. So that is explained by the this nature theory of this evolution, or theory of this natural selection. So this is how a phenomenon, a observation becomes a law. And that is a simple statement or a law can be explained by the theories. So theory means what? A deeper understanding of something is called a theory. So when we deeply understand the law or the pattern that is happening in a nature, so that becomes a theory. Thank you so much.